Good day, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Right now, it's the 24th of June. It's been almost 2 days since the new skins rotated into the Rust store. And basically, in the 48-hour analysis, we're going to go ahead and look at all of their progress in terms of sales and get a good idea of which of these skins could still potentially be a very nice investment. Sounds good? Shall we jump straight in? So before we get started, when I looked at these skins just 2 days ago, I had the hypothesis, the idea, there was a bit of a trend. Over this past month, it's been like hectic in terms of loads of very interesting skins with very high sales, and then the week after that, a lot calmer, chilled out, and then the week after that, hectic, loads of interesting skins, loads of sales, and then the week after that, calmer, relaxing. So I get the feeling this week's batch of skins was done on purpose, strategic means, I guess. Anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if next week is going to be a whole lot more hectic again. There are some very interesting skins in potential contention for next week. We've already discussed that, haven't we? But the main point is, I'm not surprised that this week has come across as a lot more, not so much like super active, is basically what I'm saying. This honestly felt expected. And I really do look forward to what we're potentially going to see for the next Rust store. Anyway, moving on, shall we start discussing all of these skins? Right then, so let's start talking about Tempered, Primitive, the Bandana, and the Poncho. So we've been seeing a lot of primitive skins being accepted this year. Not that that's a bad thing. It's nice to see some more options being given to us. So the main point with the likes of the Tempered collection is, are we going to end up in a similar position like the Pirate collection? Pirate collection had a full set of primitive being accepted. There's a whole set out there, very nice, people like it. All the primitive skins are doing nicely because of that, because there's a full set available. This is the beginning, right? This is the beginning. Much like Pirate collection, starts off with Bandana and Poncho. Now, these are selling at a higher price compared to Pirate collection, of course. Tempered's been around since 2016, so I'm not too surprised that it's being given this higher price. But do people like it? As of now, the demand is actually there, and I will point this out. With these two skins being accepted, Tempered clothing and armor actually went up in price. Yeah, I've been looking at it. It's funny to me. I would never have guessed, but yeah, Tempered pants and hoodies have gone up, and some of the armor. So that's a bit goofy, isn't it? But here's the main point. Has Milio indicated that he's going to be immediately continuing the primitive set? He has not said a word. People have asked, but he has not answered. So by default, it's very helpful that this is abnormal, so I don't have to rush into buying it. I'd rather do my barters first. But we have the weekend to keep an eye on the likes of the workshop and see what Milio potentially will be doing next. Because if we do see more what was Tempered? I've lost it. No, go back. Right, if I just pick a random skin and then I'll go to Milio here, correct? There we go. Right. So if we do see more primitive skins being submitted, I'd feel a whole lot more confident in wanting to buy the Bandana and the Poncho. By default, I will point this out. By default, Tempered skins, clothing and armor, tend to always go up in price towards the end of the year. When we usually hit New Year and whatnot, it's usually one of the most bought out skin sets, so it tends to do all right regardless. But, this is the middle of the year. This is summer. I'm looking at these two skins, and as I said, look, they're abnormal. I don't need to rush into buying these. I'd rather do my barters first, look at the barter support, look at what's potentially coming out from the workshop, then I'll make my decision. Sound good? So at the moment, yes, these are the top selling skins of the week. But the one thing I should probably point out is what we're going to probably end up at. I think both of these will probably end up at around 25,000 sales. With the bandanas, we are, on average, we are seeing a lot more of these being accepted. You might sit there and say, but last year we had 4. Yeah, last year. This year, we're only halfway through and we've already got 3. I should also point out, this came at the very end of last year. So, if anything, both of these are at 3.5. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I kind of get the feeling that we're probably going to see some more bandanas and ponchos and whatnot being accepted. So that's definitely something that we're going to have to be like half cautious about. But yeah, main point is, will we see more being submitted and then we react to it, if that makes sense. Sounds good? Pirate Collection, flourished very nicely. Will we see the exact same scenario with the likes of Tempered? I'd like to see it happen. And as I said, people do seem to like it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more being made and more potentially being accepted. So at the moment, as I said, safest option, buy orders first, then consider buying it on the Wednesday/Thursday, depending where you are in the world. Sound good? Let's move on. Rare Flame MP5, selling quite a lot. Some people do seem to really like the design. Mr. Verona has been around for quite some time, had quite a lot of skins accepted, but yeah, he's definitely brought something very nice in front of us. But at the end of the day, it's an MP5, and we have to be cautious about that, don't we? All you have to do is take a look at all of the most recent MP5 skins, and yeah. Okay, so unless it's blackout, you're not having a fun time. So yeah, it sold a lot, but I am cautious, and I'm afraid it might be a 70 cent to 90 cent type of buy order situation. It's unfortunate to say that, but as an investor, I'm more worried about how likely it's going to perform in terms of its sales. So we go back to newest. That's down by 10, that's down by 21, that's down by 18, and then last year's skins, down 49, down 45, down 17, down 53, down 10. Blackout Special, part of the Blackout collection. It has some of the aim sight transparent, so you can see more. That's special. Yeah, so a little bit awkward. I'd rather just probably stick with doing a buy order on that one. Porcelain Large Box. More and more people are starting to become aware that this looks really cool in terms of its glow-in-the-dark. So yeah, if you aren't fully aware, at night time, there's like a nice emphasis with the, well, I'll just show you when it's pitch black. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee. Yeah, get a good look at that. That looks awesome. So Mr. Vase did a very good job of this, and I think a lot more are slowly starting to realise, a lot more people, that this looks really cool. And I think it might actually do quite alright. But again, it's abnormal. I don't need to rush into buying this. I'd rather do my buy orders first, then consider what I want to do next. But I will just point this out. The most recent large box skins to have been accepted, they're a bit all over the place. And we'll show you now. Yes. So all of the skins that have been accepted this year, well, Tempered and Abyss in the positive doesn't surprise me. They're part of well-established deployable collections. Well, I mean, Tempered is part of a massive collection. Moving on. Surprised to see the likes of Recycler Box and Barbecue Box doing okay. Like before, maybe it's because of their very low sales count, but then again, this has hardly any stock, and this has hardly any stock. It's a bit confusing. No Mercy Crate came out fairly recently. That was part of a well-known collection. In fact, the biggest collection in Rust. That's suffering a bit. So yeah, this right here, I'm a little bit skeptical. I think I'd rather just stick with doing a buy order for now, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. But yeah, Porcelain Collection. I wouldn't be surprised if the skin creator considers making more skins now. Yeah, the furnace did get bought out, if you're wondering. The main point is will we potentially see some more hoodie and pants being made? But from here and now, what would you potentially do next? Mr. Vase, a rug would look really cool, because, if it's all in, like, a tile set type of design, a tile set rug, put it on your walls, your whole base is all tiles. Does that mean every single room's a bathroom? Moving on. Rather do a buy order and then look at it afterwards, and then, yeah, you get your whole routine. So, yeah, it's abnormal. We'll use that to advantage. Thompson, hello. Right, so I get the feeling Debsky and Mr. PYH still have a whole lot more ideas to, I believe they got a whole lot more ideas to put out. It's not too hard of a design to make, I'm sure. Just think of a weapon, and now it's yellow, now it's a banana. Maybe they start making deplorables. Maybe they even consider making clothing and armor. The future for the banana collection, I wouldn't be too concerned about. Come on, load up. Here we go. So, yeah, some of them are doing all right. The others are down a bit. But if we keep seeing more and more banana skins, I think we're just going to be somewhat happy. Now, Thompson. I've talked about Thompsons more than enough. They tend to be very reliable investments in the long term. We have been getting a lot of Thompsons for free, though. Twitch Rivals we got given 2. Bellum event, that was just last week or so. That that had a very nice golden Thompson, Augusta Bells Thompson. So yeah, we've had 3 Thompsons being given to us for free over the past month and a half-ish. And then we've had 7 marketable skins given to us so far this year. So it's starting to look a bit of a problem of we're starting to get quite a lot of Thompsons being accepted. If we see too many, that's going to start being a bit of a concern. But the main point with Thompsons is, for some strange reason, they hardly ever have any stock on the Steam market. Don't know why. I really do not know why. And that usually leaves them to being quite vulnerable to going up in price very easily. So as we move over to here, what do we see? The quantities of 23, but that only just kind of became marketable, so we won't count that one. But 32 here for the artifact. Yeah, look at it all. Like, on average, every single Rust skin should have around 100 quantity. Most of the Thompsons have below 100 quantity. So, it is what it is, yeah. So that right there, it's abnormal. Don't need to rush into buying it. Buy orders first, then I'll make considerations in regards to what I'm doing. But by default, I will sit here and say, based on my current, thoughts in regards to Thompsons and having seen how they perform in the past, especially during post-Christmas time, might actually be a perfectly reasonable thing to consider buying, But I've pretty much said that for all Thompsons. Yes, they will potentially go down in price a fair bit. Not drastically, but yeah. Overall, at the end of the day, look what happens towards the end of the year. And we are still 6 months away. Not everybody can do that type of thing, can they? You probably can't afford to be patient. And I understand that. So maybe you just stick with a safer buy order. We'll talk more about that when we do the abnormal buy orders. Sounds good? All right. So Thompson, I think you're going to be okay. But we'll do our buy orders first, then we'll think about what we're going to do next. Copper L96. So L96s, this is a problem in regards to gun demand. How likely you're actually going to be able to get a hold of this, use this, and then justify having a skin to use on the L96, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. So, yeah, the lesser colourful ones don't really seem to do very nicely. Oh, what about Blackout? Well, it's part of the Blackout collection. Shut up. That's the early glow-in-the-dark one. This is Christmas themed and always goes up in price for Christmas. I think people have jumped in and already started buying them because they know it's going to go up even higher during Christmas. So, yeah. We had Rainbow Pony come out very recently. There's only 50 quantity on Steam market. This is still down by a bit. It might be a straggler. Let's just find out. So, let's bring you up. Go $2. No. Quite a decent amount of them below $2. So, yeah, it is what it is. I unfortunately don't have a lot of faith in regards to the Copper L96. It might be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order situation. Yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is. It's mainly about the weapon itself. If there's a whole lot more easier to get a hold of and more people would use it, more people would, want the skins and use the skins, and skin prices would go up higher. So, okay. Moving on, we have the likes of Pixel Tier 3. Right, so my biggest concern for the Tier 3 was, will it match up to the hoodie and pants? I thought we were going to be I thought we were going to have a bit of a problem. Turns out, no, actually, it's plodding along perfectly fine. We actually might be in a situation where the Tier 3 might actually sell less than the hoodie and pants. So that's funny, isn't it? Honestly, I think we're going to end up pretty much perfectly in line with the likes of the Pixel hoodie and pants. 13,000 sales each. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what's next? Well, we still have Tier 2 to look forward to, don't we? So we'll take a look at the workshop pages, read the comments. Has anyone asked, is there going to be a Tier 2? If you release Tier 2, all right, so they're asking for that. What about over here? Do we have an answer? Perfect job. I would like to know if the collection will continue with a Tier 2 set. Yes, thank you. Yes, collection will continue. There you go. Confirmation. We're going to see Tier 2. Tier 2 is going to come out at some point. Will it be accepted? That's the main question. I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't. But then again, it's not the first time that we haven't had... It's not the first time that a collection we saw that only needed one more core piece to be accepted didn't get that core piece being accepted. Thanks, face punch. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fun little goofy set. I think people respect it enough, It's not exactly amazing camouflage, I guess. But, for what it is, it's a fun gimmick. And I don't think we're going to see many skins like this ever being made. So, yeah, I think it might gradually go up in price eventually. Also, consider this. If there's only around 13,000 complete sets that can be made, that's not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really a lot. So gradually, as time goes on, that actually might go up in price fairly nicely. It could. But yeah, we shall see. So if you want to consider hopping into the likes of Tier 3, at the moment it does seem somewhat reasonably safe, but they're both the pieces are abnormal. We don't need to jump in and buy it just yet. We could do our buy orders first, you know the routine. So yeah, okay. But the lack of sales does kind of leave me being a bit concerned. Is there actually no desire to buy and use it? Or is it a case of loads of people already bought a ton of stuff from the previous week and they're trying to save their money this week? Because don't forget, the amount of sales that we saw last week was ridiculous. A lot of money is being thrown around last week. Maybe people are trying to conserve their funds. So it actually worked out quite alright for the Pixel collection then. We didn't see an absurd amount of sales, so it's good. I guess it's good. It's abnormal. Don't need to rush into buying it. Things seem to be alright with it. I'm happy. Let's move on. Ruin Saw. Right, so I respect it for what it is. It's nice old aged green Saw skin right here with all the fun designs for the old temples and whatnot. I like the little mouth and the face there. That's cool. But I don't think people care too much for it, unfortunately. So yeah, this is part of the Ruined collection. We've had the AK out for a while. We've had this garage door out for quite some time as well. Maybe we're only going to see one skin accepted every year. That's actually a fun little trend I've noticed. maybe. Hey, there was a sheet metal door that was submitted earlier this year that wasn't accepted. Maybe we'll see a version 2 for that, or maybe that'll get saved for 2024. Regardless, the lack of sales is a bit concerning, but it's not too surprising. Why? Because for the past 4 weeks, we've had a SAR skin being accepted. And quite literally, the week before, what did we have? The Redemption SAR. And that sold a lot. And it was $3 each. So I'm not surprised that people aren't really that fussed to buy this. Because people who wanted a new SAR skin very likely bought one last week. It is what it is. You know, it's not too hard to decipher. Why are you going up in price? Are you getting pumped? Oh, there's only 12 in the market. Actually, that could be a pump. All right, let's go do a little Snoopy. Right, so there's a lack of stock. Yeah, it might just simply be down to the fact that there's hardly any stock that's available. But yeah, this is the reason why quite a lot of skins are very vulnerable to get manipulated. Yeah, we'll have to probably... you know what, I'm curious enough. Has someone bought out a ton of them? Has someone started to try and do a bit of a manipulation? It's fine to start doing this again. Oh no, damn him. No, it was me all along. Apparently I bought a whole bunch of them on buy order, it seems. Alright, well, I guess it's just simply down to a sheer lack of quantity for that one. Anyway, could that exact same scenario happen to this? Maybe. And will the likes of that chemical burn SAR end up getting manipulated? I don't know. That is something we're constantly being aware of. Will the lowest skins of the week, the lowest selling skins of the week, end up getting manipulated? It has been a somewhat common trend so far this year. Quite a lot of skins have become that type of skin, and the fact that it's been manipulated because there's hardly any stock. It's not too hard for the people who do manipulations to buy out the majority of the stock and then manipulate the price. Blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So, all right. So, at the end of the day, not surprised that you got low sales. But would you consider buying a couple because you might expect it to potentially be manipulated in the future? It's up to you. But I still think that probably will end up with around 10,000 sales. The Pixel Tier 3 as well, around 10,000 sales. And yeah, so that's basically this week. Now, with all of that covered, right? With all of that covered, I now can discuss the point, a very, very important point. The 75% discount came out. It's out. It's there. Ta-da! It's right there. Okay, so that means very cheap and affordable capsules are now available to all the people that are invested into CS:GO. Guys, for a lot of people who are invested into Rust, you should not be surprised to know that they're very likely also invested into CS:GO. Okay? Makes sense? CS:GO is like the backbone of the whole Steam economy. So, the main point I'm trying to get across to you is now is the time where you now need to consider what you're going to do. prices for our rust skins might start to dip now. Also, Steam DB summer sale. What's this, Hedge? What's this? Why, the summer sale starts next week. Yeah. So people are also going to be selling stock or whatever they have to get money to put towards buying cheap summer games. Yep, that's happening. So, yeah, our Ruskins are probably going to be having a fun time. We are now going to be expecting some dips in prices. So, with this being somewhat delayed for a long time, like this didn't come out until 4.5 weeks after the final match of the tournament for Paris 2023. And I guess a lot of people got a bit impatient and already jumped in and started buying out some skins. So here's something I want to show to all of you. Let's take a look at the whiteout collection, because that's usually always on the front page. Come on, let's get a couple more whiteout skins. You're normally on the front page. Why are you scared now? Show yourselves. All right, let me just quickly search for whiteout, because these skins really do show off the behavior of some of the people over the past few weeks. So, whiteout hoodie. Right now, you're currently selling for $6. Yep. And if I look at its recent history, yep. So, that was the peak during January, post-Christmas. We dipped May time. Once everybody kind of realised the stickers had been out for Paris 2023 and whatnot, things actually recovered. And people waiting for the actual 75% discount to actually hit, well, it never came, so people just thought, oh, it's safe, I guess I'll just buy a bunch of things. But here's the point where it stops. Do you see that? It's starting to tip and go the other way. It's starting to go down now. Yes. So I believe this is the behaviour for all rust skins at the moment. We saw some peaks, and now it's starting to dip again. Yeah. Now, I mainly believe that it peaks so much for quite a lot of these skins is mainly due to the fact that only now did we see the 75% discount come out. Apparently, June wasn't the bad month. It's looking like at the end of June and entering into July is when we're going to see this bad period of time. But I still think things are going to rebound around August time. But yeah, as you see here, this peaked up, did better than January, February time. Over here, yep. Yeah, the reason why I'm using whiteout is because it's usually always somewhat in demand. It's usually always on the front page. That did better than post-Christmas. And now it's also starting to go down. So, yeah, more people selling rather than buying. And that leads to prices going down. So, peaks up here. And as you can see, the prices are starting to go down as well. So, you could probably see that for quite a lot of skins that have randomly gone up in price somewhat recently. I guess it's either down to people being somewhat prepared for the incoming bad times, or people just happy to sell. There is always usually a peak, and eventually it stops, and then it starts to go down. So, yeah, simple as. This very likely also affect the likes of our items and whatnot. Maybe not Halloween items. When it comes to the likes of Halloween items, they usually actually peak around August and September. And then at some point in September, investors then realise, oh wait, hang on a minute, there's a fairly decent chance these items might get reintroduced at their usual lower price in the Rust store. So then you start to see them dip in price. So if you happen to own some Halloween items, that being the likes of Cursed Cauldron, or I don't know, Skull Fireplace, and the Skull Rock, so Skull Spikes, Skull Trophy, yeah, all of these are very likely going to peak at some point in August or September time. So that's just a nice little snippet of information for me to pass on to you. And you can see that last year. Here you go. So if you just go over to here, last year this peaked right around. Actually, that actually kind of peaked around June, dipped a bit here, peaked up again around October time, gets reintroduced at its Rust store price, which is a lot lower than the price it's selling for there. Goes down, and then yeah. So yeah, Halloween items actually tend to be a very nice long-term investment. Who would have thunk it? So yeah, that peaked and now it's starting to go down. So yeah, quite a lot of skins and items have already reached a nice high point, but they're all starting to go down. My expectation happened to be delayed, so bit awkward. Right then, guys, so that's basically it. I guess we could take a nice little look at some of the weeks from the past. So all the skins from last week, the hectic amount of sales, the kilt. Yeah, this is something I want to keep an eye on. So that's got 287 quantity on the Steam market. I'm not surprised because it had a ridiculous amount of sales. Compared to the likes of the rest of the Reptile Hunter, yeah, you should not be surprised by that. The vest and the coffee can was definitely something I was concerned about. At the moment, seems like it might actually hold their values. Let's see how it performs during these upcoming potential bad times. We also have the likes of our pirate collection. Yep. Sorry if I'm starting to slow down a bit. I'm really hot. I turned my fan off because I thought you could hear it in the recent Rustore rotation. I felt bad, so I've got it turned off for now. I'm just sitting here starting to sweat profusely. So yeah, don't forget, Pirate Tier 2, probably won't see that until some point in July. Don't get impatient, don't start worrying. Just understand the skin creators themselves might be waiting it out to avoid summer sale. So yeah, these skins not doing so well, that's only down by 5%. But yeah, all of these still in the positive. Let's go to the week before that. And what do I see? All of this is in the red except the gloves. Wow! As expected, the hatchet from hell and the pickaxe down 24%. Somewhat close to 20%, but yeah, as I said, all hell skins do this. Every single time. I don't know. It's just a weird thing with the collection. Shrug. But the gloves actually turned out to be the skin that would retain its value. Well, there you go. There you go. Right, over to here, June 1st. What do I see? It's the yep, Pirate's doing alright. Shipping container not doing very alright, down 21%. Bit unfortunate. But yeah, these sales were just too much for that, and I guess not that many people actually bought the shipping container building skin. No Mercy Crate, already discussed that. Give it some time, it'll probably rebound and do quite alright towards the end of this year. All of these weapons, not surprised, all struggling. These are sitting at around close to $1. This is somewhat holding its price. That's struggling at $1. That's down to above $1. People don't really know what to do with this, struggling at $1. It is what it is. And then we'll take one quick look at the likes of May 25. What do we see? Capybara Rock is down by 12%. Is that a straggler? La da 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 da. Yep, that's looking like it's a straggler. And yeah, so yeah. Actually, Capybara Rock sold at $3, didn't it? Oh dear. Right. Oh no. Right. So too much competition, really. That damn Hamster Rock took away its thunder. Now everybody loves the Hamster Rock instead of you, Mr. Capybara Rock. What a shame. Monuments Glass Garage Door, down 2%. We never did see that continuation being accepted, did we? So that's unfortunate. Adobe Door, down 23%. It looks like not that many people bought the Adobe set. But remember what I said. Maybe, as time goes on, because the Adobe set building skin is permanent, over time, more and more people might buy it, and more people might gradually realise that they want this door to pair up with it. And then, you know, it might be a slow process, but it eventually, potentially, might end up being a positive. And yeah, oh, and Pixel Boots there came out somewhat recently, and that obviously went up in price with the Pixel Tier 3 being accepted. Alright, so, yeah, that's basically it then, gentlemen. That is all that we needed to discuss. Wow, that's doing alright, that's doing alright. Toy collection actually has been doing alright. I wonder when Mr. Little Ranger would consider making another attempt for the hoodie and pants for toy collection. The final core piece. A lot of people would greatly appreciate that if it gets accepted. Oh no, Rock from Hell still struggling. That's gone down in price quite a significant amount. I'm always surprised by this, but apparently someone on YouTube used it, and yeah, it only took off and went up and up and up. And yeah, when Thompson skins suffer, it's not by that much. So yeah. Alright, cool. So, front page, it is what it is right there. Will we see a massive impact because of this? Remember, this likely will be going on for about 2 months. Alright? 2 whole months. This is going to go on until maybe towards the end of August, maybe into September. I wouldn't be surprised. Antwerp lasted 66 days. Rio lasted 69 days. Will this be even more? Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Plus, we also have Source 2 on the horizon. Will loads of people be jumping on playing Source 2? You got to take that into consideration. That's also another thing that we should be concerned about. when Source 2 comes out, will people stop playing Rust as much and focus this instead? You know, this is the player count that we have here, and this is the player count that we currently have here. Now, when Source 2 comes out for CSGO, wouldn't be surprised if it goes over 2 million people playing it. And more people will, you know, get into the groove of playing it frequently. They'll become invested into playing the game a whole lot more. Yeah, a lot of money might be directed towards CSGO. So the summer might be quite awkward for Rust. You got to take that into consideration. It is awkward. But, you know, if you diversify where your funds go, have some funds in the likes of being invested into CSGO skins as well, you know, keeps you somewhat healthy and stable. So, yeah, but things are going to be a bit awkward. We don't know when Source 2 is actually coming out yet. All we know is it's the summer. Thanks, Valve. Your timing is wonderful. All right, then. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching me. Have a lovely weekend. And, yeah, keep an eye on the workshop. Keep an eye on the workshop, all right? And, of course, I'll be doing my Rust Workshop skin checks, which you can see on my YouTube every single week. Ta-da! Shut up, Hedge. Shut up! Shut up! It's goodbye. It's not good. Goodbye.